Hey everybody, welcome to SpeedBump. It's time for a race. Jinmu Denshou?
Yeah, this is a fairly classic Kusoge. I've been going through the archives because I'm doing dashing through trash right now, and I saw this one, and I so badly did not want to play it, but I did want to inflict it on others. It's basically Space Harrier, but what if we gave you a bad sword? I'll go ahead and give them the countdown.
Yeah, I think I'm ready. Everything looks good. I've never seen this one before, I don't think. PC Engine.
We don't have a lot of those floating around, but fortunately, BizHawk just keeps getting better, and there's more consoles supported regularly. As Darkman mentioned in our SpeedBump chat, the newest BizHawk actually adds support for Amiga, so we can start to do some real... We can cause some real pain.
This is fantastic. This looks like a more difficult 3D World Runner.
Yeah, 3D World Runner doesn't have a lot of ninjas.
More combat, less jumping over pits. Ooh, platforming. Love to see it.
There is some currently optional platforming. The amount that it is optional will change dramatically soon.
I think I've mentioned to you that I can't believe people can even beat that game. Many people can apparently beat 3D World Runner. There's speedrunners. Boy howdy, I think that might be the hardest NES game I can think of.
That's really saying something. It is a wildly ambitious game, and sometimes it really does not feel like the game provides you the tools to be able to beat it realistically. So unlike similar games, you can go backwards and forwards in this one. I actually don't know if you can do that in Space Harrier, but that doesn't matter because this isn't Space Harrier. You have a sword. You can charge that sword. And you can also pick up power-ups from statues in the levels, which will give you things like additional health or access to special weapons. You see that several of our players actually have shurikens, so they have a ranged weapon, which is a huge benefit, debatably necessary to even play this game, because the range on the sword is wildly frustrating.
I don't think I ever saw a sequel to 3D World Runner. I've seen Space Harrier though. Here's the dragon that is the standard of all of these games. Just this orb dragon thing. Always the boss.
Now, Okami mentioned that she had beaten this game before, so I can't really make a comment. Like, I think it's unlikely that we'll see any clears, but for the players who aren't really familiar with this game, I think that Stage 3 is going to be a huge wall, because unlike most of the other stages in this game, in Stage 3, the floor has been replaced with water, and you now have mandatory platforming. If you fall in the water, you take damage. It's not an instant death, but the platforming is pretty frustrating, so...
Games like this shouldn't have platforming, which is exactly what the problem is with 3D World Runner.
3D World Runner, yeah, having those giant pits where you have to jump, not just platforming, but jumping on top of these tiny little statues.
It's honestly like one frame. I don't even know how to describe it because frames isn't really the right term. You have the ability to control your forward momentum. You can slow it down a little bit, but for like only one like only 1 pixel of the forward area is a jumpable thing. And you have to try and get it to line up right, and it changes horizontally and forward motion on you over pits, and you have to do like 50 of them in a row. It is almost all the game is at the end of it, and also it's like super tight on the timer for no reason. I'm sure there's a method to it. I'm sure you can memorize exactly what the muscle memory is on that, but there aren't very many games.
That's the big problem with 3D World Runner, is that a speedrunner can beat it because they can just memorize exactly how to get past those obstacles, but from a casual perspective, those sorts of things are extraordinarily frustrating, not intuitive for how to get past it all.
It's not even fun, but there aren't very many games I had on the Nintendo, like physically, that I couldn't beat. This is one of them. I was pretty relentless with it.
Not for lack of trying. Yeah, this game does have an interesting mechanic. Your power meter is also your health meter, which means that the amount that you're able to charge up your sword, and therefore the amount of damage you're able to deal, actually lessens as you take more damage. So if you're very healthy, you can potentially have a lot easier time in combat, whereas as you're closer to death, it becomes harder and harder. So now we have Okami heading into stage 3, which had the water mechanics I was talking about before. This is not a super long game, so I would not be surprised if Okami is able to finish in under 30 minutes. This is only 7 stages long, if I'm not mistaken. But if Okami were to fall into the water, it would not be instant death. In fact, she started in the water already. But landing in the water does deal damage, so you really want to take your time and get the platforming right. Unfortunately, nothing in this game really rewards you for taking your time. On split screen, we've got the fight against the dragon now, and also Digi is fighting the dragon. They're having a pretty good time. I believe the color changes are indicative of how much health it has left.
That sounds right. I've looked into the fun of trying to beat like every game on a console, and games like 3D World Runner make me hesitate, knowing that I'll be stuck there with
every
10
console
viewers
has
all night.
games like that, yeah.
Every day I'll be there, world running and never winning forever for the rest of my life. Be able to do 900 games and then 901. Oops, World Runner's here. Actually, it'd be in alphabetical order, so 3D World Runner would be like number 3 on the list.
Just before 8 Eyes.
Yeah.
But after 10-yard fight.
I've been trying to beat all the NES games for 28 years. I'm 2 in. 3D World Runner. Here we go.
Well, if it's not games like 3D World Runner completely stopping you, it's, you know, those Koei grand strategy games that take 10 years to beat.
This platforming looks like a pain in the ass, but it's still not the worst.
Yeah, I feel like this is more coherent than some of the platforming in 3D World Runner.
It's the health bar that really does it for this game. The ability to take more than 2 hits.
So a fun detail about this game, as you can see on Okami's screen, is that there are passwords, and the game does recall your passwords so you can pick up from where you left off. But the passwords do include the amount of health you had, and so it is possible to get a bad password.
That's just no good. I wonder if this game... Is this on other systems? Is this PC Engine latency we're seeing?
To my knowledge, this is only on PC Engine, but I haven't done my research. There is someone doing a GameCube Mania right now. It's Why Am I Here? Trying to remember the numbers in their username.
Well, the PC Engine, the TurboGrafx 16, is a console I don't know a whole lot about. It looks a lot like a Nintendo. The controller too, like it just looks like we have Nintendo at home, the console. NES has, I think it just natively has 4 ports on it, but it has at least 2. This only has 1, I think.
The PC Engine, one of its interesting details is that the stock OEM controller has turbo buttons in them,
Nice.
which is first off really great, but has historically created interesting discussions for the speedrunning community because usually like the console supporting turbo out of the box means turbo is of course supported, but people use it as a touchstone for talking about why turbo should be supported for other consoles as well.
The NES Advantage eventually came out as an official thing with turbo built in it. Big mammoth, like fighter stick sized controller.
Yeah,
With a joystick on it for some reason.
yeah, I've got one of those.
Yeah, I have 2. I have them on my shelf because I think
Oh,
they're
that's
neat.
right. You tried to give one away to me. I said to you, I've got one already. You said, don't you want another one?
Yeah, don't you want this? It's pretty sweet. I thought it was a real cool controller back then.
It is a really cool. I mean, even now, it's kind of a cool controller, but I probably wouldn't use it.
The analog stick that's definitely not analog is there.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
emulating.
let's just take
our console.
directions.
Cool skeletons. Hardware like that, it is immortal. It will never break. It's just a big chunking piece of plastic. Any vulnerable parts are buried inside of it, like under 5 skeletons of just casing.
So our players who have made it past stage 1, for instance, Digi, do need to be mindful of their health if they're taking passwords forward. And you can see Digi carefully taking their time through this stage, trying to find as many power-up collections as they can, because some of them might be weapon upgrades, but some of them are also just health refills, and those are probably going to be invaluable at this point.
Now, if you haven't seen the TurboGrafx in America, it's probably because of its kind of late release. In Japan, it was competing with the Nintendo, which is obviously better for it in the next generation.
Yeah.
But I think that alone might just be why.
I feel like Nintendo and eventually Sony just kind of dominated the US, while every time I hear about other countries, it's like, oh, y'all had all the other consoles? That's pretty cool. So Kami clearing stage 3.
They had a portable console called the LT that would play PC Engine games in color, Game Boy sized, for like $1,000. So I'm just reading up on this stuff. TV tuner and 2-player link cable. They basically had the Game Boy Color or Game Boy Advance even in 1991. Only on PC Engine. Just PC Engine exclusive. And for the price of a laptop. These bamboo sticks are really messing people up.
Oh yeah, big time.
I think a health bar, like Dark Souls-esque, huge health bar like this, kind of makes you take hits for granted and just take a lot of damage over time and end up in a bad place. You gotta avoid that damage at all costs. You definitely play a little bit more, whatever, than you do when you die in 2 hits like in World Runner.
Which is a shame because it's such a important commodity in this game, but, you know, with the size of that health bar, you really just don't think about it until maybe it's too late.
Yeah, being able to move back and forth. You probably ought to be able to dodge. I don't know how easy it actually is. But these bamboo sticks, for example, I would take forever to make sure I didn't take too much.
Fritz having the worst time trying to land on that platform. But now Spritz has an awesome power-up, so...
Blast them on through. Now Wonk's on the title speed. Damn Wolf Team. Wolf Team games, show me those. I know a couple.
Big Club, Wolf Team.
Ernest Evans and El Viento are 2 gems, probably their most famous ones.
Wait, Ernest Evans was made by the same team that made this?
Yeah, and Tales of Fantasia, which is like actually good. They're responsible for that. How did they make that? Yeah, that's like a top tier SNES RPG. How could they be involved in it? No insult to Wolf Team or anything, but you made a good game? Wait a second. I haven't ever played Star Ocean 2. Now I'll just switch to Weird Mario. What do you think
Honestly, I get that.
about that? Players are mostly struggling with this green level, but Okami's getting to the fire zone and not getting through it. Coffee break. They got this password locked in where they're half dead. Wonder if we could have found passwords with full health on the stages.
I did find some passwords. That might have been an option.
The pillars are moving. Are they, or is he running into them really fast? Super speed problems. This Mario game's pretty neat.
Distracted. We've got Digi working their way through the water stage. This one, I thought would probably be where a lot of our players would get walled.
You have to do these jumps slowly, or is it not possible to fall through them as long as your horizontal's right?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how close they are, whether or not it's, it looks like they give you a little bit of a shadow almost to help you line it up, but for the most part, I think that the platforms are spaced in such a way that you can't fall between them, except for in certain gaps.
This isn't a dragon. What is this? This is awful. Imagine not using a dragon. They're not even following the script here. Kami with one pip of health left, dodging skulls. Sprit's also on a boss. It's purple. This 1 health has been carrying. Now their continue is going to be cursed to be 1 health, right?
Yep.
Is there any, like, hamburgers or chicken nuggets?
Yeah. Sometimes the pickups that you get in the stages give you more health, but you're at the mercy of what you find.
Another purple. A victory for Spritz as well, who also is at 1 health. That just tells me that they only started being super, super cautious at the point where they were almost dead. I think if they came back in with the same energy that they used right at the end to beat that boss, they'd probably be cruising. They do get a big heal for free, though, it looks like. Half of it.
That's like 30% of the bar.
It's not bad. Couple minutes left. Try to beat the water zone. That one decision to not tie health into it, or to tie health to the password, which they did intentionally. That's killer.
Yeah.
Power fire.
Yeah, both Spritz and Digi are in rough spots at this point. If anything, this is a stage where the game should give you a bigger health bonus at the end of 2 so that you have a little more going into 3.
Oh no, Digi's in the water. Where's the platforms?
You start with a few moments of invulnerability while you get to the first platform, and that's about it.
Hey, that's also not a dragon. This is bullcrap.
Well, our players definitely know that time's almost up, so I expect that they will be ready for what's coming next.
Run select auto. No thank. Plop down into the I guess a blue painted floor, not water. Cool looking game. I would definitely cheat. I think that if they go back through it with what they've learned, I bet that this is easier every time.
For sure, yeah. Knowing to keep your health up, knowing, you know, not to accept a run that goes into the next level with in kind of a rough position like that definitely makes it easier.
Well, that's it. Time is up.
Yep.
Kami definitely there in front. I think Spritz might be further than Digi, I'm not sure.
I gave it to Digi for second because Digi got to stage 3 first. Spritz and Digi both were kind of dying over and over on 3, and Spritz went back to 1.
The 1 health curse.
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
awesome.
That's cool. I haven't seen this one before. That's neat. I need to try out, apparently 3D World Runner 2. This is a thing that exists.
It's time. It's time to put on the 3D World Runner crown.
Thanks for joining me, Alpha Blues.
Take it easy.
Have a good one.